Welcome to another Barjacks video. My name is Dylan, and one of the problems I see all the time in our videos is what kind of lure you should get. Especially if you're starting out, or if you're on a budget, or maybe you seriously want to get into trolling. There's so many different choices and different ways to catch fish. So I'm going to give you the top 7 lures that you should focus on when you're out deep sea fishing. Let's start with number 7, one of my favorite trolling lures, the Yozuri high-speed vibe. And this lure is one of the easiest and most effective lures to troll offshore. This lure is extremely versatile, catching you Mahi, Tuna, wahoo, and we have even caught a sailfish on this lure. Also, this is a good quality lure, making it worth the $18. This lure is a really underrated wahoo lure, especially if you're trolling it before sunrise. If you plan on trolling this lure before the sunrise, I highly recommend adding some wire or cable to this lure so those wahoo aren't able to cut through your line. If you are trolling this lure later in the day, I highly recommend using fluorocarbon. The only time you should be running cable with this lure is if you're trolling it prior to the sunrise. Any other time of the day, I highly recommend using about 40 to 50 pound fluorocarbon, and this lure will crush the blackfin tuna and the mahi. This lure dives about 5 feet under the surface, and it can be trolled all the way up to 15 knots. The only knock to this lure is that it does not do good when there's a lot of seaweed in the water. If you try trolling this lure through seaweed, you are going to be reeling this lure in every 10 seconds just to take the seaweed off this lure. Now that we have went over the pros and cons of lure number 7, let's get into lure number 6. Coming in at number 6, we have one of the most popular trolling lures in South Florida, the Islander with a ballyhoo. And there is a reason everyone trolls this lure. It's extremely versatile, and even on the slow days, this lure always seems to catch fish. This lure is known for crushing dolphin, but it also works great for blackfin tuna and wahoo. The one reason this lure is at number 6 is because of the price. The lure by itself is about $20, and then you have to rig up a ballyhoo, making it about a $25 rig. If you are willing to pay the $25, I'm telling you guys, you will crush the fish, especially in the springtime now. This lure works great anytime throughout the day. Now that we have went over lure 6, let's talk about lure number 5. Lure number 5, a must-have trolling lure when you're offshore, the tuna magnet. And this is just a little small squid with a bullet head that swims right under the surface. And this lure will catch you both mahi and tuna almost every trip. The one reason this lure isn't higher is because you really only catch tuna and mahi on this lure. If you want to catch these fish, this is the right lure, but if you are trying to target wahoo or kingfish, this is not the right lure for you. This lure is extremely easy to set up, and they are extremely affordable to fish. The company I buy these tuna magnets from is called R&R Tackle, and they are $10 there. But you can shop them around because everybody makes this small tuna lure differently. This lure can be trolled year-round and works great at any time throughout the day. Now that we have went over lure number 5, let's talk about lure number 4. A lure extremely similar to lure number 5, but is a tad bit bigger and more versatile, the Mahi feather. And these feathers are awesome for tuna and dolphin, and they are extremely affordable. This is the ideal lure you can troll around cargo ships or seaweed patches, and that's where this lure will put in the most work. It's an extremely versatile lure, and they can be used year-round and throughout any time of the day. Now that we have talked about lure number 4, let's get into lure number 3, the Sea Witch. And if you guys have watched my recent videos, I literally have this lure in my spread every single trolling trip. This lure is the best when it's on a planer, and for those of you that don't know what a planer is, it takes your bait deeper in that water column, right into that strike zone, where the tuna, dolphin, wahoo, and kingfish sit. This is an extremely versatile lure and will catch you everything from a 3-pound blackfin all the way up to a triple-digit wahoo. The best thing about this lure is how affordable it is. You can buy these sea witches online for $5, but if you are new to this sea witch thing, I highly recommend going to a tackle shop first and let them rig it up for you once, just so you understand this rig. It may seem complicated at first, but once you learn this, you will be catching fish every trip. Now that we have talked about one of the best trolling lures, let's come into lure number 2, the Clark spoon. And honestly, this lure is this high because of the versatility and how many fish you can catch on this thing. This lure has caught me everything and it has never disappointed me. On our recent trip, I was honestly shocked with what this lure brought up. It caught us a black grouper trolling this Clark spoon. Most of the time that's luck, but at the same time, it shows the versatility of this lure. If you are new to fishing and want to learn trolling, I'm telling you guys, add this lure to this spread. This will be the best $7 you can spend. This lure also may be the most underrated tuna lure. Nobody talks about these lures for tunas, and for some reason tuna love these lures. Now that we have talked about this Clark spoon, let's talk about the best trolling lure right now, and that's the daisy chain. This daisy chain consists of 3 small squids and then 1 bigger squid trailing in the back with a hook. And let me tell you, this is the perfect lure for beginners and experienced fishermen. We have had days with this lure that it catches us 20 mahi, and we have had days where this lure limits us out on blackfin tuna. I highly recommend trolling a lure like this, and there are a ton of different daisy chains. After fishing these lures for a couple of years, I decided to actually create my own style of the daisy chain, and that's the version I troll now. What makes my daisy chain so different than the others is that each squid actually has its own hook. I've had times where I caught 3 mahi or 3 tuna all at the same time on this lure. I highly recommend adding a bird teaser to these daisy chains. Now that we have went over the best 7 trolling lures, you are ready to go put some fish in the cooler. I hope you guys enjoyed this fishing video, and we hope to see you guys in the next Barjack's Family Fishing video.